10:55?
10:55 is suicide. Did they really just say 10:55? Sal?
Oh my god.
Okay, alright, I'm calm. Does anyone know where parents
I'll try to give it back, okay?
Unfriended sounded like a dumb idea. A gimmicky idea. I don't mind saying that an entity that haunted people over social media really made my eyes roll. Imagine my shock then that the film actually doesn't descend into the areas I expected it to and made me eat crow. Got to say, this is probably up there with my favourite manipulation of a film production studio's logo. The film follows a group of high school friends on a group call online. They begin to receive messages from a recently deceased classmate's account, and as the night goes on, things get more and more intense, until increasingly bizarre occurrences happen and things turn deadly. A problem with a lot of these from the perspective of a laptop movies is the mouse always moves a little too smooth. Like, you can tell it's just been animated, but here that issue's not as prevalent. It's a good amount of jittery and not immediately going to where it needs to be like a real person would, and that invests you more in the story. After all, it all hinges on whether you believe you're really looking at someone's laptop.
Thank you. I got a haircut like 2 days ago.
No, I mean, you look good right now too, but check your Facebook.
What?
Dude, these are intense. Hold on, did you give Jess permission?
Dude.
The performances are actually really good. Everyone acts and talks like a real group of high school friends. Some people may find it annoying, but personally it just made them more endearing to me. A lot of the things they discuss are stuff that me and my friends went through. Arguing over photos online they want removed. Bitchiness between the girls. That one guy in the group who hits on everyone. And the funny fat guy. I can't think of anyone who did a bad job, especially Blair, the main girl. She carries the film herself for big chunks and is always captivating. An older audience might hate on Gen Zers and their sense of humour or values, but here it just makes them feel more like real high schoolers.
Future's now, old man.
Because the only sound you hear is the laptop, there's actually a really eerie atmosphere that builds up. It reminds me of the explanation Teller gives when explaining why he doesn't talk during his magic act.
What I've discovered is there's something absolutely incredible that happens when you don't talk. You know, everything becomes very intimate because you're looking at them, they're looking at you, and that intimacy is really thrilling to me.
You're forced to confront everything happening visually on screen and piece it together yourself, since the entire film progresses through web pages or a chat room.
Nothing fools you better than the lie you tell yourself.
The film is actually less jump-scary than you might think. It's a very chilling and compelling story that brings out fear because it seems so plausible. Purely through access to their photos and their conversations, this account is able to control their lives. It posts things online to humiliate them and keep them stuck in this situation. They're all revealed to have played a part in a traumatizing event, and their lives are irreversibly damaged when this is being brought to light. It then forces them all to play vindictive party games in order to make them all clash and turn on each other. To be honest, it could have worked just as well without the supernatural horror elements going on. Just having this account breaking down all these people for their poor morals would have made for a genuinely intriguing film all itself. It's just a bonus for horror fans that it's also out to kill them. The deaths are pretty damn horrific too. They're painful, blood-soaked ways to die.
Ken!
It's a really timely theme. These people's lives are completely destroyed purely through the use of social media. Their so-called friendships are shown to be a sham, smiling and giggling to their faces but with a lot of betrayal and lies behind their back. It's all done at such a good pace too, rolling out shock after shock to the point you realise most of them are truly horrible people. The account that at first seems sinister kinda becomes an anti-hero vigilante more than a villain. And they don't just make it petty squabbles either, it's super harsh stuff. We're talking a girl getting roofied and large sums of money getting stolen. All of it is gossipy entertainment in the style of something like Jeremy Kyle or Jerry Springer. We all secretly love gossip and drama. This group of people are forced to confront each other over it, and it's glorious.
What do you mean?
Oh, okay, new question. Never have I ever fucked
What are you doing?
my boyfriend's best
What are you
friend.
doing, Adam?
There.
Why are you
happy,
doing
Blair?
What are you doing? Is he serious?
Richie, I'm so sorry. Don't.
He's serious? He's
God
telling the
damn it,
truth?
Adam.
The movie also surprisingly has a great sense of humour too. In amongst all the frightening social drama, the account slips in a few good digs just to wind up the characters for its own amusement. I chuckled on more than one occasion, which is better than some straight up comedy films I've watched. Unfriended is a unique, well-crafted horror that preys on our fear that what we share online can come back to haunt us, as well as comment on how we may present ourselves in certain ways to the world while being completely different online. It's great.
Can you please sit down?
Unfriended 2 came out 4 years later and decided to target a popular topic at the time, the dark web. I was actually really curious to see where this one went because the dark web is a subject ripe for plucking horror from. It shows a group of friends who discover a laptop that belongs to a secretive dark web group. They discover the evil world they inhabit, and eventually the group comes for revenge. The characters aren't the worst, but a problem with the film is that we barely get to know them. There will be 1 or 2 moments we interact with them, but most of the time you're too focused on seeing what the laptop owner Mateus is doing on screen with the conversations going on in the background. They're mostly there as props to spout exposition so a more casual audience can understand the dark web mechanics. Outside of Matthias and his girlfriend, I couldn't even remember anyone's names.
Who are you people?
The villain is where the film really excels. The idea of an all-powerful group that can get away with anything they want and cover their tracks is horrifying, and it's portrayed brilliantly here. It's not the comedic Punisher from the previous film. This is an intimidating, creeping threat that is out to harm these people, and the film has a far darker tone than the first one. How easily plausible it all is the most terrifying factor. It becomes frightening just how simple they portray tracking down someone is. Look at all the swatting events that happen to YouTubers, the Boogie 2988 gun incident, or hell, even just the amount of doxing that forces people to move now. Weaponizing personal information has become a legitimate tactic to ruin another person's life, and the film shows how ludicrously easy it can be to obtain and exploit this information.
Wait just 1 second, can you wait?
My favourite creepypasta is normal porn for normal people, that also plays on the believability of such scenarios and how cheap and easy it could be to do horrific things. Here, it's the same kind of formula, finding footage of videos you wish you had never seen. The best moments of the film are seeing these insanely creepy dark web videos. They seem so realistic that you're instantly unnerved. You can so easily believe that there are people sick enough to have done this to humans, and the ghetto way they're filmed really intensifies your shock at them. When they find a video of a barrel being opened and see a poor woman inside scared peeking out, it got me. I was deeply unsettled. Unfortunately, there's so little of that here. It takes up an insanely small fraction of the runtime. The majority of the film is centered on the owner of the laptop coming after the group. It's not terrible, it's just very tame, especially after the first entry did the social aspects so well. They don't even start discussing the dark web until around the 30-minute mark.
No! AJ! No! No, stay on the ground!
AJ!
No! AJ! No! No, stay!
No! AJ! No! AJ!
No! No! No!
It's so frustrating because the film changes so many things correctly and implements changes to keep the idea fresh. Instead of high school students, they're adults. Instead of a supernatural threat, it's a real-world horror. Instead of a personal revenge story, it's a cautionary tale of going places you shouldn't. It's all new territory and a devilishly modern idea. It also implements the technology in new ways that, in my opinion, are some of the most fascinating aspects to the story. No longer is the movie bathed in silence because they have Spotify on the laptop to set the mood. All the dark web shit is also perfectly portrayed here. I fully believed in how this group operates. It's so well devised. It's just a shame it's not executed as well as it should have been. As I say, it's a long time before anything really threatening comes into play, and it's not until the last 20 minutes before things get really intense. And by that point, it's happening to people that we haven't gotten to know so well.
Who are you people?
Unfriended Dark Web has its moments, but ultimately it takes too long to get to its best material, and when it does, it doesn't stay with it for long. It needed a little more fine-tuning before release, but didn't receive that and ends up a middling experience as a result.